Wahhabis and others funded what was there.
And when people do not like some of the things which are being preached, they normally label a person, oh, you're a Wahhabi, oh, you're a Salafi. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. We should not do that.
In this book it is written, Isa say, Allah said, Ya Muhammad, had not I created anything, I would not have created anything. I created everything for you. That's why when we mention the hadith of Lawlak, hadith of Lawlak, had I not created you, I would not create anything. Wahabi says, oh, this is invented, this is a lie. But this very hadith is in this. Allah said, Ya Muhammad, had I not created you, I would not create anything, and everything I created for you, you know. So now, this is only rejected by Wahhabis and by the priest. Otherwise, it is all over the world being read for the last 70 years. It was discovered a long time ago.
So those Sufis who make money out of grave worshipping and having people only listen to them and not encouraging them to recite or read the Quran and to learn the Sunnah, they also call the people who follow the footsteps of the Prophet ﷺ as Wahhabis.
Whenever the people of desires and innovations and misguidance, whenever they are confronted with the truth and they intend on rejecting it, they create labels. They create names that will scare the people away. Be careful, these are such and such. Don't go there in order to mislead the common people, and they will not find their way to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember this. This is their quality. This is their quality. This is a lesson which we learn. And what does that tell us concerning now? Why is this related to the topic? Because in our last discussion on the Sufis, we mentioned many of their deviant ways. Many of them. And when they were confronted with the truth, they had to do the same way the kuffar had done at the time of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Come up with a name, give them some false accusations, and keep the people away from them so that they can contain and keep their followers. They don't want to lose them. So all of a sudden we had Wahhabis. Wahabi. You know the Wahhabis, right? They don't like the Wahhabis, man. They don't like the Wahhabis. And, you know, I personally, I consider it one of the 7 wonders of the world. In fact, I think it's the most wondrous of the 7 wonders of the world. How can someone like Sheikh Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab, rahimahullah ta'ala, who found Muslims worshipping trees, stones, idols, the same way they were at the time of the Quraysh, before the Risala, he found them engaged in the same kind of shirk. He simply called them back to Tawheed. You read his books. قال Allah wa qala Rasul. Allah said, you know, "U'buduni, worship me." Basic stuff. All of a sudden, you know, this is a Wahhabi and he's the creator of a sect and he's misguided. And if you read some of the Sufi sites, I mean, like I mentioned, you go to the Sufi sites, they have a special tab for Wahhabis. Ya akhi, read the lies and the fabrications. You won't believe. You won't believe. They accuse him of all kinds of things. Why? Because he was calling them back to Tawheed and they don't want Tawheed. Some of them are so ignorant, right, that they say Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah was a Wahhabi. And come on, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah came, 700 years ago. And Shaykh Muhammad ibn Wahhab came, and he was born in the year 1111. So how could he be Wahhabi? How could Ibn Taymiyyah be Wahhabi when Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab came way after him? And the name Wahhabi came because of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. Ironically, Abdul Wahhab, the bestower, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What about Sufi? From Suf, from Wool. Look at the difference in the name. Even Allah made in the name a sign. I mean, they gave us the name. They gave us the name. And we say, listen, if Tawheed is Wahhabism, I'm a Wahhabi. Put me on Facebook. Put me on YouTube. warn against me and the Muslims who follow this way. We are Wahhabis. If you mean by Wahhabi someone who likes to worship Allah alone and associate none in worship with Him. We didn't come up with this name. But if this is what you call the people who are upon Tawheed, then let it be. Then let it be. It's better than being called a Sufi or anything else for this matter. We have no problems, man. And we will say it as it is.
People, they have the wrong image of Salafiyya, and the image of Salafiyya is tainted purposefully by those people who are in opposition to Salafiyya. Let me tell you, and let me be blunt with you, the Sufis, they hate Salafiyya. The Sufis hate Salafiyya because the Salafis are the ones who expose them and expose their shirk and expose their innovation. It's the Salafis who are the one who are teaching the people the correct aqidah. It's the Salafis who are saying you don't need to follow a Sufi tariqah. You don't need to give bay'ah to one of your mashayikh and hold on to this, and then every little question you have to go back to him. Ya Shaykh, how should I approach my wife? La wallahi. We say that the slave, he should worship Allah Jalla wa Ala directly, and this is the most important thing, is the Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Sufis, they hate us because we expose their shirk and we expose their innovation.
Don't worry about them. Tell them, look, whoever called themselves Wahhabis? Did Muhammad Abdul Wahhab say, call yourself Wahhabi? No.